Okay, so let me start this video off by saying that I'm going to be talking from a consumer standpoint rather than a tech reviewer's standpoint, because as someone who paid for both of these devices right here, I got quite a few things to say. What's going on, everyone? Josh Quinones here. So I've been getting tons of questions asking if it's worth it to upgrade from the S23 Ultra to the S24 Ultra. Well, let me say this. If you have an S20 Ultra, S21 Ultra, even an S22 Ultra, then hey, yes, it's definitely worth the upgrade to the S24 Ultra. But if you have an S23 Ultra, you might want to keep it just a little bit longer. So first off, forget about the specs, okay? I'm not really gonna go too deep into the specs. I'm gonna talk more from experience here with both of these devices because, to be honest with you guys, both are super similar. I mean, I love my Galaxy S24 Ultra. The experience has been great so far. I will have a full review coming out on this really soon. But I mean, just kind of using them, you know, from day to day, you know, using the S23 Ultra one day, S24 Ultra the other day, honestly, I almost feel like I'm using the same phone. Even though I know they're not, there has been some upgrades, you know, going to the S24 Ultra, but it's still very similar. So starting off with the overall design of both of these phones, I mean, looking at the back of both of these phones, you would think that, hey, they're the same exact device. Obviously, both in different colors. I mean, the camera setups are pretty much exactly the same. You're still getting that nice frosted back, matte finish in the back, feeling really good in the hand, looking really good as well. Doesn't glare too much, don't pick up too many fingerprints. Then going around the sides, we do have more of a flat edge on the sides of the Galaxy S24 Ultra rather than the S23 Ultra, but they are still a little bit rounded. Still making it feel good in the hands, but I will say that the S23 Ultra might feel just a little bit better in the hands because when you go to the display, the S23 Ultra still has that slight curve. It's not anything major because it's still almost a flat display, but we're still getting a light curve on both edges. Now, when it comes to the S24 Ultra, as all of you may know by now, yes, it is a completely flat display, making the phone feel just a little bit wider than the S23 Ultra. So I would say because of the curved edges on the S23 Ultra, it does feel a little bit better in the hand. But that doesn't mean the S24 Ultra doesn't feel good in the hand. It still feels great in the hand. It's just for me personally, the S23 Ultra feels just a little bit easier to hold in hand because of those curved edges. Now, when it comes to the display with both of these devices, again, both beautiful displays, absolutely beautiful. Samsung's always putting their best displays in their devices, and the same goes with the S23 Ultra and the S24 Ultra. Now, I will say there is a difference here, a noticeable difference, that the S24 Ultra does get brighter, but not only that, it also has that anti-glare display, which you can see right here in this shot that I took, hovering my ring light over both of these devices, and you can see that it shows more on the S23 Ultra than it does with the S24 Ultra. So that anti-glare display on the S24 Ultra actually does help a lot with those, you know, reflections and glares from lights or the sun. It's definitely easier to use outside in direct sunlight. But I will say the Galaxy S23 Ultra display still gets nice and bright, and I never really found it to be hard to use outside personally. I mean, yeah, if you shine it in direct sunlight, I mean, that's for any device. If you shine it in direct sunlight, yeah, you are gonna have a harder time seeing your display. So you just you gotta kind of tilt it, you know, the other way just a little bit and you'll be okay. But I never really had a hard time using the S23 Ultra outside at all. Still a beautiful, bright display. Watching content on both of these devices, super enjoyable as well. You're getting a crisp picture on both of these. Yeah, the colors pop, get very nice and vibrant. Now, I know there's, you know, a thing going on right now with the S24 Ultra, you know, saying that the display doesn't get as vivid as it should when you're in vivid mode. I do use vivid mode on both of these right here. And I will say that, I mean, I don't notice a huge difference for me. Maybe I'm blind a little bit, but I mean, both displays look vivid enough for me. I know there is an update coming for the S24 Ultra where we can pump up that vividness more if we want those colors to really pop more in the S24 Ultra. So there is an update coming for that soon. But honestly, I mean, I'm more than happy with both of these displays, both absolutely beautiful. And then of course we're getting 120 hertz of smoothness on both of these. So just scrolling through both devices, you know, in and out of my app drawer from home screen to home screen, going in and out of apps. I mean, performance is great, smoothness is great with that 120 hertz. I don't experience lag on either one of these devices. Now, you do got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on the Galaxy S23 Ultra and the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But honestly, like I said, I mean, performance is great on both of these. I mean, they've both been able to take care of everything that I throw at them. I know with the S23 Ultra, I've been using this all year, and it's been handling everything throughout the year without any struggle, any problem at all. Even all of my 4K video editing that I do on this device, all of the video recording that I do on this device, just my everyday tasks, the S23 Ultra has been taking care of business. And then going over to the S24 Ultra, same thing, taking care of business. I don't experience any lag, any stuttering, any latency, anything like that when using the device. So no matter which device you use, the S23 Ultra or the S24 Ultra, I mean, they're both gonna perform good. They're both gonna take care of business. It's not until you're, literally using them side by side, then yeah, you could see a little bit of difference in speed and performance or whatever. But honestly, I mean, who's going to be doing that? Who's going to be holding both the S24 Ultra and the S23 Ultra side by side all day long and using them for the exact same thing? No, you're going to have one or the other. So if you're using the S23 Ultra all day, you're going to be like, hey, this is a fast device. It's quick, it's powerful. The same thing with the S24 Ultra. Hey, this is a fast device. It's quick, it's powerful, takes care of everything. So just, I know I'm kind of rambling here, but just when it comes to overall performance with both of these devices, you're not gonna have any struggles at all. They will take care of everything that you need them to. Even when it comes to gaming, I've done a full gaming test with the S23 Ultra, and I will have a full video out soon, dedicated gaming test on the S24 Ultra. Both handle gaming super good as well. And I know it does have to do with that Snapdragon chipset in each of these, even though one is newer than the other, with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and then the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on the S23 Ultra. No matter which one, I mean, both are taking care of gaming great. I mean, it took care of gaming great early on. I mean, why wouldn't it still be taking care of gaming great, the way it used to be? I mean, only a year later. So, I mean, overall performance, not just when using the phone, but when gaming as well, is still great. Now, battery life. Let me talk battery life because I made a big deal about the battery life on the S23 Ultra and how great it was. I mean, this is an all-day phone, even a day-and-a-half phone. You can easily make it a 2-day phone with some light usage, throughout both of those 2 days. But battery life is still great on the S23 Ultra. It has not really died down, at least from what I've noticed. It has not really died down since day one. If anything, it got a little bit better and just stayed good like that. So definitely still an all-day phone, and even a little bit more if you really try to push it that far and use it a little bit lighter the first day. But with the S24 Ultra, if you watch my all-day battery drain test, same exact thing. All-day phone, can even be a 2-day phone depending on your usage. But you can't go wrong with either one of these devices when it comes to battery life. Like I said, both are super similar to, one to another. And then of course we get the S Pen on both of these, which is what these phones have been known for, even, going back to the Note devices. And you're still gonna get all your S Pen features and, Bluetooth features with both of these S Pens. So there's really no huge change there. But I will say the biggest change when it comes to both of these devices is just that we're getting all the new AI features with the Galaxy S24 Ultra right off the bat. And the reason I say that is because all the AI features that we're seeing in the S24 Ultra right now, all of those AI features are gonna come to the S23 Ultra. You just gotta be patient, wait a few months, they are going to come to your device, and once they do, it's almost gonna be like you have the same phone as the S24 Ultra. Even though, like I said, yes, the S24 Ultra is upgraded in some ways compared to the S23 Ultra. Overall, it is the better device. I will say that it is the better device, but you're not really going to miss out on a whole lot with the S23 Ultra if you do decide to keep it. Or even if you don't have either of these and you find an even better deal with the S23 Ultra, then hey, pick it up for yourself. Why pay more if you really don't have to? Like I said, with all those new AI features we have on the S24 Ultra, which are amazing to use. Honestly, they're cool. They're amazing to use, they work great, but I don't really see myself using them every single day. It's nice that they're there when I do need them, but I don't really find myself, looking for them and, trying to use them every day. If they're there, if I find I need them, then I'll use them, It's like that circle to search, which is a cool one as well. And it's even on the Pixel phones as well. That one's cool to use, and I've found myself needing it every once in a while, but not all the time. I've survived this long without AI features on my S23 Ultra, so I'm still trying to get used to it. And for those of you who are not used to having them, I mean, you'll be perfectly fine until you do finally get them with the new update coming. Like I said, in a few months, you're basically almost gonna have an S24 Ultra in your hand with the S23 Ultra. But I would say that is the main big difference you know, comparing the S23 Ultra and the S24 Ultra. Now, when we talk about the cameras, even the cameras are still very similar. I will say that when taking photos with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, I do find that the colors pop a little bit more than what they do with the S23 Ultra, but either way, I'm still able to get great photos with both of these. Now, we do have a difference between telephoto lenses. Both still have that 3x telephoto lens, but with the S24 Ultra, we do now have a 5x telephoto lens rather than the 10x telephoto lens on the S23 Ultra. Now, you are allowed to use that 50 megapixel camera and, you know, zoom in 10 times, take that photo, and it will still give you just about the same results as when using the 10x telephoto lens on the S23 Ultra. So like I said, still pretty much similar. But when zooming in 100 times, I will say that for some reason, even though it's coming from a 5x telephoto lens on the S24 Ultra, it does seem like the 100 times zoom pictures are just a little bit better on the S24 Ultra. But then again, it also depends on lighting. Now, when it comes to video quality with both of these devices right here, well, I'll let y'all be the judge of that. Take a look at these samples. Okay, so future Josh here. Unfortunately, I do not have that video footage anymore. I don't even have these picture samples that I took to compare to the S24 Ultra either, because unfortunately today was the last day to send out my Galaxy S23 Ultra for the trade-in for the Galaxy S24 Ultra, which I'm using to record this little part of the video right here. But yeah, being the forgetful person that I am, I forgot to transfer over those sample pictures and all of that video footage to compare to the S24 Ultra. And I'm just kind of bummed out right now because I really wanted to show you guys how they compare to each other. So I'm sorry about that, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it when it comes to the photos. And even with video, I mean, both cameras are very similar when taking video as well. I will say that the S24 Ultra is a little bit better when it comes to overall video quality, but honestly, I mean, when it comes to video quality with both devices, you can't really go wrong with either one. I mean, the S23 Ultra has been recording so many of my videos here on the channel since I've gotten it day one. If I wasn't making a video about the device itself, it was recording all of those videos. So video quality on the S23 Ultra is still great. So I just had to go ahead and throw this little clip in here just to let you guys know. Sorry, I couldn't really show you any samples, but I will have links to my full video test that I did with the S23 Ultra and even the S24 Ultra that you can compare them, both of those videos, and see which one you think is better when it comes to overall video quality. And one more thing that I wanted to mention, kind of an annoyance with the S24 Ultra, and that has to do with messaging or even just typing overall. Me personally, I do a lot of voice to text. I just find it really convenient for me when I'm on the go. And with the S23 Ultra, it was just so easy to use that voice to text because I'm right-handed. So a lot of the times when I use my phone one-handed, I'm using it with my right hand. And it was so easy to just click that voice to text icon because it was right there where, you know, closest to my thumb. It was easy to just click it, say what I gotta say, you know, send it, whatever. But then when it comes to the Galaxy S24 Ultra, it's not so easy anymore since we do now have that AI capability on this device. Now there's a little AI icon taking up space in that little bar right there above the numbers. So now they have moved that voice to text microphone down to the bottom left of the device. So I can't reach it with my thumb anymore because the phone's too big. I don't have the biggest hands either. So I gotta bring in my other hand to press that voice to text, and then I can, you know, say what I gotta say. So that's just kind of one thing where I find it better on the S23 Ultra rather than the S24 Ultra. But okay, that is it. Back to past me, I guess. Just overall, if I was not a tech reviewer, if I didn't have a channel where I'm trying to review, you know, a lot of new phones that come out, honestly, I would probably keep my S23 Ultra another year, unless I had tons of money, you know, to just throw away, because I am someone who likes to have the latest and greatest when it comes to the smartphones. Then yeah, I might, you know, upgrade to the S24 Ultra just to have it. But as someone who does pay for their own devices and likes saving money, wants to save money, I would probably stick with my S23 Ultra for another year. Heck, maybe even another year after that. I can definitely see this device lasting for quite a few years. But we do have more update support with the S24 Ultra, so this will, you know, have more of that longevity to it. It will last longer because of those updates, you know, with software updates and security updates compared to the S23 Ultra. But I mean, who's keeping their phone for more than 2, 3, maybe 4 years. I know there are some rare people that still do, but most people are upgrading like every year, every 2 years. So this will last you your 2 to 3 years. Oh, and I've also forgot to mention the speakers on both of these devices. Of course, you want your, your content watching to not only look good, but sound good. And both speakers pretty much sound identical. I think the S24 Ultra may sound a little bit better, a little bit louder, maybe a little bit more low end, but honestly, I mean, just you're only really going to tell just using them side by side. Speakers on both of these still sound great as well. So like I said, I mean, both very similar devices, the S23 Ultra and the S24 Ultra. If you want to upgrade, hey, I'll leave a link down in the description below because yes, Samsung does have great trade-in deals. I mean, I got a good deal on my S24 Ultra. Of course, I didn't pay full price for it, but then again, I still could even save the money that I spent even with that deal and put it towards something else and kept my S23 Ultra. But it's really up to you. Like I said, if you're like me, you like the latest and greatest, and hey, go for it. But if you want to save some money, and I mean, you still have the S23 Ultra in your hand, you still have an amazing device in your hand. It is still no slouch at all. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comment sections below. I am super curious to see what you guys think. If you did already upgrade to the S24 Ultra from the S23 Ultra, do you notice a huge difference or just little minor changes? Let me know what your experience has been like down in the comment sections below. And if you've been thinking about it, I hope this video was able to help you out in making that decision. Like I said, leave your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you did like this video and find it helpful, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so you're not missing out on any other future videos to come. Thanks for watching. This is Josh Quinones. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.